But now we need to address another clip from those 15 hours of recordings that Steve Bannon made sure to record of Jeffrey Epstein. And I still don't know how people pay attention to Steve Bannon, how he is still invited to this conservative mega events, since everybody knows that he was working closely and secretly with Jeffrey Epstein to reform Jeffrey Epstein's image, public image. Go figure. Jeffrey Epstein hires you to reform his public image. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein was back in the day paying $10,000 a month only in SEO services, which is making sure that when you Google his name, the bad things did not pop up and only good things pop up. He was spending $10,000 a month on that. Again, the Bannon interviews were with that intention to, let's say, reform his image in the public eye. Steve Bannon ultimately says that was good as Jeffrey Epstein wraps up their interview with a smile. This interview was also a rehearsal in case Jeffrey Epstein was going to have a 60-minute, the show, 60 minutes, a 60-minute interview. That never happened. That was a rehearsal as well. So yes, that did not work out very well. And in this one, he had this kind of a weird response. Let's watch the clip.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
Do you think you're the devil himself? What kind of question is that? I'm going to rewind because I think that, I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein did not expect this or if they were rehearsing how he addressed certain topics or certain questions.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
I simply don't understand. There's maybe you can help me, but the answer to that question, do you think you're the devil himself? No, but I do have a good mirror. Is some kind of symbolism I'm missing here or something, perhaps?
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody...
As I told you in yesterday's video, Bannon was saying, "Oh, you're so incredibly smart. You're this financial genius. You're all this." It was kind of gay to watch.
Somebody knows the devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is.
Yeah, the devil scares me, and you see that the Depressed light that
Satan is.
That you saw that? You saw that, right? I was not the only one. You know that you have been trained by yours truly.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is.
Yeah, the devil scares me. That's smirk. Smirk is the word that I was looking for. Smirk is the word that I was looking for, and he definitely had a very creepy smirk. The devil scares me. No, I think it's the opposite. I think the devil looks on you. The devil pays you a visit on your island and say, "What is this? What?"
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is,
and we're pretending that Jeffrey Epstein did not know this. He used to have these conversations in which he could have all these connections between medical analogies with economy, with finances, with philosophy and everything. And do you really think that Jeffrey Epstein needed this explained to him? I think that was kind of silly.
Is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay? We have to go.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So that was the end of the 15 hours of an interview with this guy. Again, I still can't possibly understand how so many people decided to hang out with him after the fact, after the conviction. One thing is for certain. This is the kind of efforts that he took, no matter what, no matter how much he had to pay anybody, to make sure that his digital footprint of what he had done back in the day would be erased, would be reformed. I think that he was looking to, I noticed, and now that I remember my analysis from yesterday, is that Bannon was trying to frame it like he was instrumental, like Jeffrey Epstein was instrumental in containing the 2008 financial crisis. There were all these world leaders from Russia, from China, from everywhere, calling Jeffrey Epstein. By the way, Hugo Chavez, was heavily involved with Jeffrey Epstein as well. He appeared in the emails. I need to, maybe I will talk about that tomorrow. I didn't have time to dig into it. I don't want to go crazy with the Venezuela topic. There's a lot to say about the Venezuela topic, but I think I can delay Chavez and Epstein topic a couple of days. They are dead. I don't think nothing is gonna change much because of that fact. So, but again, it's like he tried to frame himself as this savior. And notice how Bannon asks about, do you think that you're the devil? You think that you want to be the top dog because that's what the devil wanted to be. I wanted to be the most notorious guy in this hierarchy of archangels. You think that Jeffrey Epstein had this kind of God complex, perhaps? I could say that I have not analyzed. I haven't been able to analyze him because you need footage. You would need interviews. It would be convenient if we had the 15 hours of footage of those Bannon interviews. But at the moment, I think that the guy was the most important thing that Jeffrey Epstein had. I want to elaborate on it. Is that he had enough knowledge of finances to make non-financial people say, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He had enough knowledge of finances, but he combined it with an uncanny ability to charm people and to, I don't know what is the word for this. I think charm people would be the name. I mean, you could say that, yeah, he looks like a creep. People would say, oh, even through a Zoom call, I could notice that he was, but it is obvious for all the connections that he had and how all those connections kept looking for him repeatedly after all those years was for some reason. And you could say, you could tell me, oh, but he didn't need to be charming because he was providing a service. He was providing girls for all these people. And I would tell you that is a possibility, but we can't jump to the conclusion that every single person that hang out with Jeffrey Epstein was in there for the girls. Because some people 100% were there because they knew that Jeffrey Epstein was the one, for example, someone, and this happened a lot with him. He had the power to give researchers and connect researchers with people who could fund those research. That research. That's one thing. Again, the other thing, the sex parties were a nice add-on. It was like a nice perk of those exchanges. And again, there's no way to say or to tell or to affirm that every single person that came in contact with Jeffrey Epstein hang out at one of those sex parties or debauchery parties or anything. That cannot be proven. You can, say, investigate one clue after another. Those tips, even the deranged tips, girls buried under Trump's golf course that did not exist until 10 years after the facts. You investigate what you need to investigate and find out who was behind this. Now, having said that, in regards to the discussion of, I see people saying that there was actually no client list. And I told you that 2 days ago. Again, I think there had no need to be a client list because for Epstein, it was not clients. For Epstein, it was friends. And he wasn't, that's another thing. I saw a question, a very valid question on X. How could this guy just keep emailing all these people all day? And that was his job. That was literally Epstein's job. He was a networker. His job was messaging and emailing everyone all the time to know if they're going to attend his parties, if they're going to where they're going to hang out, if he could have dinner with them, if they could pick their brain, if they, that was his job, 24/7. And let's say that the ways that he distracted himself from his job, or he blow off some steam, were pretty much illegal. But that's what he did, and that's why all these people keep reaching out to him. I am absolutely not endorsing any of the behaviors of these people, but it's how to say this? It's like a double explanation. Some people obviously were there for the sex, and some people were there for the power, and some people were there for both things. We could write a song that is catchy for a song. We could write a song about Epstein, but that would be way too much bad juju for me. I'm gonna skip on that one. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.